I know it is. A big dinosaur like that, 6'8", knockout power. It's not easy, is it? It's not like he's going up against somebody who can't crack or anything like that. It's a tough fight. And anybody at that weight cracks you, you're going to know about it. So...
Yes! This is all he needs. I'm going to tell you right now, if he can catch Tommy slipping, and Eddie moves pretty fast. I'm not saying this is, going to be the case on fight night, but he catches Johnny a bit by surprise here. Like, Johnny's just kind of walking in range, and he catches him by surprise. Feints the jab, comes upstairs. Good shot. Now, again...
Animal. And the spars were as such. There were two guys going in there and getting at it. And...
Tommy Fury reacts after watching Eddie Hall's sparring footage and mocks him on IG Live. Tommy Fury looks unimpressed after reviewing Eddie Hall's sparring clips, suggesting the pace is far too slow for professional boxing standards. He mocks the movement and timing, implying Eddie is out of depth. This reaction adds fuel to their rivalry and builds tension ahead of a potential clash.
I'll go in there and expect to box and do the best that I can. And if I do that, I only see it going one way.
Over 100 pounds of weight.
But don't forget, at the end of the day, I know people say, oh, you couldn't knock KSI out. KSI wouldn't stand and fight. KSI was flapping all over the ring like a bird. He wouldn't stand still.
Eddie Hall stepping into sparring footage here is already grabbing attention for all the wrong reasons. You can see the raw power is there, but the timing looks heavy and predictable against sharper movement. This is exactly what Tommy Fury has been pointing out, that once the speed and rhythm change, Eddie starts to look uncomfortable. Tommy Fury is already sending a clear warning ahead of the fight, targeting Eddie Hall's biggest flaw. He's pointing out that muscle means nothing if the chin can't handle clean shots. Tommy sounds confident, promising to expose that weakness with speed, timing, and sharp boxing IQ once the fight actually begins.
You're right. I mean, Eddie's got muscles all over his body, but you can't put muscles on chins. And that's what I'm about to expose. Listen, we've seen good big men, in the ring all the time. But what's different, the muscles can't get on the chin, and I'm looking to find that chin.
The Wade Plemons said he'd be a lot more dangerous, stepping in with the left foot, bringing the back foot, and firing the right hand. This breakdown shows Eddie Hall's biggest issue is timing and setup. If he can disguise his entries better, he becomes far more dangerous. Even though he looks raw, his power remains a serious threat in exchanges.
He'd be a lot more dangerous. Step in with the left foot, step with the back foot as well, and then just run that right hand. Was it a feint, or did he just not get there? I mean, either way, make your punches look like feint, because he doesn't really try to land the jab. He's just showing it to him so he can get to the right hand. Bring his feet, and that's a lot more dangerous. Even arm punching, though, Eddie can crack, so...
Sean Jones explained that Eddie Hall landed a big jab that pushed Johnny back and followed it with a strong 1-2 combination. But he also warned that Eddie cannot throw his right hand naked. It must be set up properly behind the jab. Otherwise, Tommy Fury's movement will make him miss and counter easily throughout the fight.
Big jab by Eddie. Throws Johnny back. Nice jab by Johnny. Trades a jab. Now, that was a nice 1-2 there by Eddie. We all know what Eddie's going to do coming into this fight. He's going to be looking for that big right hand, but he's not going to be able to find it if he throws it naked. He needs to hide it behind that jab, and that's if he can catch Tommy Fury, because Tommy is going to be on his bike in this fight.
Eddie Hearn explained that this was the first time Eddie Hall trained consistently with 7 or 8 sparring partners living in camp, and it made a big difference to his development. This shows real commitment to improving his boxing, but still, training volume doesn't replace experience. Against Tommy Fury's sharp timing and ring IQ, it will be a huge test to see if that progress actually holds under pressure.
Fight was sparring. It's the first time where we consistently had 7 or 8 guys in camp, living in camp, training with him day in, day out. And it made a big difference in the fight. So I think he knows that the way that he's going to improve is time in the gym and also the quality of sparring. And of course, Fury would be outstanding work.
Francis Warren said Eddie Hall looked like an absolute animal in sparring and was mixing it hard with other fighters in camp, with both sides respecting the work. This paints Eddie as dangerous and motivated, not just a beginner, but sparring intensity is different from fight night pressure. Tommy Fury's movement, timing, and control could expose gaps that don't show in gym wars like this.
his ability to go in there and believe that he can go and mix it with these guys. Listen, sparring at the end of the day, and but I know for a fact that both guys appreciated each other's work during that.
Eddie Hall explains that the personal tension behind this fight comes from loyalty, saying if someone disrespects his father, he takes it very personally and emotionally. This shows this is not just business for him, it's personal. That mindset can bring aggression, but also mistakes. Against a calm and technical boxer like Tommy Fury, emotional fighting could become a weakness if Eddie rushes in without control or strategy.
You know, it's like if someone fell out with my dad, I don't think I could be friends with them. You know, if someone said something bad or fell out with my dad, I'd probably want to hurt them as well. So
Simon Jordan describes this as a fun spectacle fight, admitting he wouldn't want to face Eddie Hall but still expects Tommy Fury to land clean shots. This highlights the mismatch in experience versus raw power. While Eddie brings danger, Tommy's boxing background gives him a clear technical edge. The key question is whether entertainment value turns into real competition once both men are actually under pressure in the ring.
Determinant, won't it? If it's a good fun event and you take it for what it is, I mean, I wouldn't want to be in it. You know, I wouldn't be across the ring from this fella, but notwithstanding, I'm quite happy for Tommy Fury to get a punch in the face.
The Wade Plemon believes Tommy Fury can control the fight after the early rounds because Eddie Hall struggles with boxing fundamentals and tends to rely on power shots. He also references past fights where Eddie was outboxed, showing defensive gaps. However, he still warns Tommy cannot underestimate Eddie's strength. One clean punch from Eddie could change everything, making this a dangerous fight despite the technical difference.
No, he's going to take it seriously. Now, I expect Tommy to pretty much do what he wants with him if he can get, Eddie to relax a little bit after the first, second, and maybe third round. Because as big as Eddie is and as athletic as he is, he can't box very much. He's not a great boxer. He swings for the bleachers. He's got great power, obviously, and he's a good athlete. Like, he's a really good quick-twitch athlete. But even in the Hafthor Bjornsson fight, I can't even believe we're referencing this in terms of a Tommy Fury fight, but even in that fight, I know Eddie had like one arm because he had a shoulder messed up, but Thor outboxed him and stuck a left hand on him. He was the southpaw. It was tricky, but listen, and Tommy is not like a high-level operator, but he better be high-level enough to...
Vid O'Reilly said that when he sparred Eddie Hall, he was around 140 kilograms and still believes Tommy Fury should win this fight, but also admits anything can happen with Eddie. This shows the clear contrast between boxing experience and raw physical strength. Tommy has the skills and conditioning, while Eddie brings unpredictability and knockout power. That's what makes this matchup interesting. On paper, it leans toward Tommy, but Eddie's size and strength mean one mistake could completely flip the fight in seconds.
I mean, Eddie, when I sparred Eddie, he was 140 kg. I don't know how much he's gonna have to be for Tommy. But Tommy should win, innit? Like, he should win. But Eddie Hall, who knows? It makes sense for Tommy, innit? It's a good fight. It's a good fight to...
Frank Warren says the fight has grabbed massive attention with life-changing money involved and believes it ticks all the boxes from a business and sporting point of view. This highlights how big the spectacle has become beyond just boxing skill. While Tommy Fury is seen as the favorite, Eddie Hall brings entertainment value and danger. Warren clearly sees it as a high-profile event where both fighters gain massively, but it still raises the question of whether competitiveness matches the hype or not.
Grabbed everybody's attention for various reasons, and they're getting, Tommy's getting life-changing money, and how can you, I can't knock that. You're in the ring, it's a dangerous place to be, and my job is if I see a fight that I feel he can win and I'll put him into it, then I'll do that, and it gets him further up the ladder. Not only do I think he can win it, I think obviously this is a high-profile fight, but he's getting a truckload of money for it, so it ticks all the boxes.
Dave Allen says he respects both Tommy Fury and Eddie Hall, calling the fight a spectacle and part of boxing's new circus, but also questions it as a real boxing match. This reflects the wider debate around crossover fights. While fans enjoy the entertainment, purists see it as mismatched. Still, Allen admits it remains interesting to watch because of the personalities involved. It's a fight built more on curiosity and drama than pure boxing equality, which is exactly why it attracts so much attention.
Well, I watch it. Of course I watch it. I like Tommy Fury a lot. I'm a Tommy Fury fan. Eddie Hall. I'm an Eddie Hall fan. I like the World's Strongest Man. A lot of respect for him. So of course I'll watch it. I'll watch it as it's a spectacle, in it. It's part of the new bit of circusry that's come into boxing. All these exhibitions, different people from different sports coming in. But for all intents and purposes, as a boxing match, what a load of bollocks. Yeah, I don't think I don't like it too much. But I'll watch it because it's like it's interesting in lots of ways, and I think people find it interesting.
Tom Aspinall explains that Tommy Fury has boxed all his life, so should have the edge, but also warns Eddie Hall has genuine fighting ability and knockout power. This is the classic skill versus strength debate. Tommy brings technique, timing, and experience, while Eddie brings raw physical danger that cannot be ignored. Aspinall's breakdown shows both outcomes are possible, Tommy dominating on points, or Eddie landing something powerful. That uncertainty is what makes this matchup unpredictable, despite the clear technical advantage on paper.
Fight. Tommy is obviously a boxer. Eddie can fight as well, though, to be fair. So, yeah.
You've trained with both of them, though.
I've trained with both.
What's the skills? What's the breakdown for this one?
Tommy's been boxing all his life, so you would think that the edge should go to Tommy, but Eddie can actually genuinely fight. So.
Eddie Hall expresses frustration, saying he's tired of the talk and people acting tough without backing it up, challenging them to actually step into action instead of just speaking. This shows his mindset is very emotional and confrontational heading into this fight. He genuinely feels disrespected and is using that anger as fuel. But in boxing, that same aggression can become a weakness if not controlled. Against someone like Tommy Fury, who stays calm and technical, Eddie's emotional approach could lead to mistakes, overcommitting, and getting caught clean. Still, it also makes him dangerous because he will come forward with full intent to hurt, not just compete.
And then I was just so fed up. I was trying to get in nowhere with these guys. I'm like, look, you talk the talk. You fucking walk around headbutting and smacking people and punching windows and whatever else. I said, well, why don't you guys fucking put your money where your mouth is for once and fucking do something?
Tommy Fury explains that the real tension is mainly between Eddie Hall and his father, saying he is only stepping in to handle the situation and that Eddie has essentially called out the Fury family. This frames the fight as more personal and family driven rather than purely competitive. Tommy also separates himself from Tyson Fury, suggesting he is his own fighter stepping into a challenge. That mindset shows confidence and control. He is not emotionally invested the same way Eddie is, which could be a big advantage. Calm fighters often perform better under pressure, and Tommy seems to be approaching this as business rather than personal conflict.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the real beef is between Eddie and my dad. You know, that's genuinely what has happened here. I'm only doing this fight because of my dad. So the real beef is between Eddie and my dad, and I'm obviously just stepping up to the plate. Tyson's on a different stratosphere. Basically, Eddie was having a pop between all the Furies. You know, he wanted to fight with a Fury, and he's got.
Dave Allen reacts by calling Eddie Hall's matchup with Tommy Fury surprising, acknowledging both men and even joking that they are likely making a fortune from the fight. He highlights the spectacle side of it rather than pure sporting merit. This reinforces the idea that this fight is as much entertainment as it is competition. While Eddie brings novelty and power, Tommy brings boxing legitimacy. Allen's tone suggests curiosity, but also skepticism about the seriousness of the matchup. It's the kind of fight that attracts attention because of personalities and crossover appeal, even if traditional boxing fans question how balanced or meaningful it really is.
World's Strongest Man, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. He's fighting Tommy Fury. I thought they were mates. They probably are mates. Probably making a fucking fortune.
The Wade Plemon breaks down a very basic but effective game plan for Eddie Hall, saying he must rely on fundamentals like a strong jab, tight defense, and short inside work to slow Tommy Fury down. This is a clear reminder that Eddie cannot rely on strength alone at this level. He needs structure, discipline, and timing to even compete with a trained boxer. The advice also highlights how predictable Eddie could become if he swings wild without setup. Against Tommy's movement and experience, basics will be everything. But the challenge is whether Eddie can actually stay composed long enough to execute a technical game plan under real fight pressure.
Yeah, that right there, simple stuff, right? This guy's gonna walk towards you, look, breaks the guard with the right hand, sneaks the jab in behind it. That's perfect. You don't need anything else. Basics. The basics is what Eddie should do in this fight. He should cover up when things get a little hairy, tie Tommy up, If they get in close and then break that tie, maybe uppercut, hooks inside, everything to the body, slow Tommy down a bit. And then when you're at range, it's jab, get underneath Tommy's jab, massive right hand. You get a little closer, you want to throw your hooks, fine. But it should be jab overhand, jab straight right hand. All day.
In the end, this fight comes down to one simple clash of worlds. Raw power versus polished boxing skill. Eddie Hall brings size, aggression, and fight-changing knockout strength, but also inexperience that could be exposed under pressure. Tommy Fury brings timing, movement, and ring IQ, along with the confidence of someone who has lived in boxing his whole life. If Eddie lands clean, everything changes instantly. But if Tommy controls distance and pace, it could turn into a frustrating night for the former strongman. The real question is who imposes their game first? Power or precision? Chaos or control? Are you backing Eddie Hall's raw strength or Tommy Fury's boxing skill? Drop your prediction in the comments and join the debate.